And welcome back to Electric Bike Mark. On this video I'm going to be riding the King Bull Voyager 2.0, and this is a cargo e-bike, 48 volt, 750 watt. The motor does peak at 1300 watts, and this has a 85 newton meters of torque, 20 inch by 4 inch fat tires with the mag wheels. So the question today is, would a license plate stop you? If the government said you could keep your 750 watt nominal, 1300 watt in this case, or even a 1500 watt peak motor, and your hydraulic brakes, but you had to put a license plate on it and pay for insurance, would you do it? Or does the license plate mean the bicycle is officially dead? So let's hop on and talk a little bit about this. So in a previous video I did, I talked about the 5 things that people look for when buying an e-bike. And motor was one. They want a motor that's got decent power, like 750 watts, like we normally get as of now, but with laws changing, for how long is that going to be that way? Like this bike here, for example, let's use California as a good example. 250 watts, 750 watts peak. Well, this bike is nominal 750 watts. So right away, that takes it right off of the board there for California. So it's a no-go. Can you imagine all the e-bikes that are out there that you're riding and used to riding now could no longer be what you get to purchase and ride in the future? And here's the thing too, if you buy your e-bike, first of all, you're not even thinking about it. I never even thought about having to insure the bike, plate it, and all that stuff. You know, I just got my first e-bike as a bicycle. I thought of it as a bicycle, and I still kind of think of it as a bicycle with a motor on it to help you, assist you. And my whole thinking on this is, if they really were serious about doing this, it should have been done years ago, before e-bikes became as big as they have been. Now they can use an excuse like, you know, that the companies are making them faster and faster, which they are. You know, you can't really fault the consumer. When products are being shown at you, let's let these cars go by. You know, that, oh, this bike can do this and this can do that. You kind of want that, right? Like, I'm going to tell you about my first bike I ever bought was the Rad Rover 4. Okay, and that was back in 2019. Black Friday. And I purchased that bike on a $1,250 was the sale price. It was $1,500 regular price, I believe. Plus I had to buy fenders at the time, which were $90 extra. They didn't come with the bike. And then that being my first bike, e-bike, I learned a lot from that one bike, what I needed on my next bike. And what I needed, living at the time in Oregon, I'm now in Tennessee, was I needed more power. I needed more power to climb hills. That bike just wouldn't cut it, you know, as far as climbing hills. And so I started to do my homework. There was a lot less bikes around to purchase back then as compared to today. There's lots of choices, right? Way more choices than I had. So I started looking around, and the one I kept coming back to was the Aerial Rider Grizzly. And why that stood out so well is because it had dual motors. And I didn't see any hills in the videos that I watched and you know, different articles I read on the bike. There was nothing that was saying that that bike couldn't climb any particular hill. It climbed everything. So I thought, well, I want to get that. And of course, when I made my mind up to buy it, it was out of stock. So I just waited until that bike came in stock again. It was version 2 that I bought, and I bought the bike. It wasn't a sale. It was $3,300. I had no discount codes, nothing. I just bought the bike. Didn't even think about any of that. But that bike was great. It did exactly what I wanted it to do, and that was climb hills. Today, if you buy that bike, or let's say in 2027, if you buy that bike, first of all, you may not be able to buy it unless you buy it used. And secondly, it's probably not going to be legal. So you got to go through all that, you know. Most times when we buy a bike, we don't think of it, whether it's going to be that or legal or illegal or any of that. You know, you just buy the bike to have some fun and ride. And this bike, being a cargo bike, is great for if you wanted to get groceries. You can carry them on the back. And with that, though, you need more power. And if they're going to limit the power to a maximum of 750 watts, peak, 250 watt nominal, my goodness, hill climbing is going to be tough, because if you're carrying your own weight, however much you weigh, the weight of the bike, and your cargo, and you're trying to climb a pretty good hill to boot with very little power besides whatever you're legally allowed, 750 watt max peak and 250 watt nominal, it's going to be very difficult to climb a hill. You're going to have to use a lot of human power, and even then, I don't know how well you're going to do. And I don't think that's right. Like I say, if they were going to do this, this should have been done a long time ago, before e-bikes even became any kind of a big deal. But nobody said nothing, and now in the last, I'd say the last couple of years, it's really increasing. I mean, it's so bad that it just takes one incident on an e-bike with somebody, even if it's not their fault, to just send everybody into a frenzy. I shouldn't say everybody, but law enforcement. Anyone who has anything to do with law, it seems like they see these bikes as kind of like the devil. And it's very unfortunate, in my opinion, because e-bikes are getting a lot of people. I know a lot of people myself that are out riding right now, and if it wasn't for the electric assistance of the electric motor, you know what? They wouldn't be out there, because they can't do it. And the thing that brought me back into bike riding, because I rode bike for years, I love bike riding. I hadn't done it in a long, long time. And what brought me back into it was the fact that the bike had an assistance of an electric motor to give you that extra juice, you know. And so that's what drew me into them. And once I got on one, I was hooked. You know, it's very addicting. And it won't be long if you do buy a bike, or if you already own one, you probably know what I mean. You start looking around to see what other e-bikes are out there. What else? You know, and sometimes you aren't totally satisfied with your bike, especially your first one. Like I say, I knew right away after what I needed to get on my next bike, where I wanted to improve. And you would do that, but you know, I never thought at the time, I did not think of this at all, that they were going to become illegal or be in the situation that they are now. I never even thought about that, honestly. It's just the last few years that it's really snowballed. You know, one person jumps on it and then it snowballs. One politician will jump on it, and then next thing you know, you got multiple states jumping on it. And like I said, it's very unfortunate because buying like insurance, license, and registration and all that costs money. And the one thing that this is doing is allowing people that can't afford transportation, be it a car or what have you, to be able to buy one of these bikes and do a lot on this bike. That you know, otherwise wouldn't be able to do. And rehabilitation, it helps people rehab from knee replacements, hip replacements, what have you. Or just gives them that extra ability to go out there and ride a bicycle, whereas otherwise, because of health reasons or what have you, they wouldn't be able to do it. And yeah, they cost a bit at first. You know, they're going to cost you maybe $1,000 to $1,500, or you can get some now though a little bit less than $1,000. Pretty good ones. But once you pay that one-time fee, the bikes are good for several years, right? I mean, I hope people come to their senses. When I say people, lawmakers come to their senses and, you know, don't destroy this, ruin it where it gets to the point where people are just going to say, I'm not doing all that. I wanted to get this bike to ride it like any other two-wheel bicycle, or three-wheel if you're riding a trike. And I didn't want to go through all that other insurer and license and all that. I wasn't even thinking of that. You know, that's for your car, not for your bicycle. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this and how you feel on all that. So that's going to do it for this video. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, thank you very much. Just hit that subscribe button. If you want to be notified as to when the next video comes up on the channel, just hit that notification bell. And if you want to leave a comment on this video or any others that you've seen on the channel, let me know your thoughts on licensing a bike. Is that a no-go for you, or would you think about it? Or are you just a flat-out yes, I'll do it? Anyway, leave a comment in the comments below. So until next time, be safe everyone, enjoy your e-bikes, and keep your wheels on the road. And I got a car right behind me. I have to wave them through because I'm just sitting here closing out my video. So once again, thanks for joining me, and until next time, keep your wheels on the road. See you later.